Hello class, this is Dr. Curtis and I'm making this video to talk about week 2 for linear algebra. Let's see. So hopefully by now you purchased and signed on to the Xi book. That's very important. And because we already started week 1 and you should have looked at sections 1.1 and 1.2 so far. So if you go to Blackboard, you should click on Start Here, and let's see, you should look at the syllabus walkthrough. Alright, so your syllabus is found here. There's the link to the syllabus. There's the walkthrough that I created. Let's see, here's my information. I have an introduction video there, participation. Okay, so basically you could look at this first page of the Start Here, and then you want to move to the weekly modules. Okay, so I have an introduction video in week 1, so you want to go over that, make sure you're up to where we are. And so now we're in week 2, and I'm going to open that up shortly. And let's see, so the objectives of week 2. So you are to look at the Xi book, section 1.3 and sections 1.3 and 1.4. In 1.3, the objectives are to use matrix terminology to classify and describe matrices, determine if the sum of two matrices even exists. They have to have the same size and dimension. Same thing, size and dimension mean the same thing. You have to perform matrix addition. You can do that with the calculator, but you should know how to do it by hand. Perform scalar multiplication and matrix subtraction. Again, these you can definitely do with the calculator, and I have a calculator video here as well. I'll show you. And identify and use properties of matrices and scalar multiplication. All right, so I think there's some other properties involved, maybe matrix transpose and things like that. And those things can be done in the calculator as well. So here, section 4 says determine whether matrix multiplication is defined between two matrices. So if you're multiplying two matrices and one is, say, a 3 by 4, then the second matrix has to be a 4 by something. So in other words, normally we identify matrices by naming the number of rows by the number of columns. So the number of columns of the first one has to equal the number of rows of the second one in order to be able to multiply. Okay, so they want you to determine the size of the product and find the product of two matrices. Again, so you should know how to multiply. And you can do those on the calculator as well, but you should be familiar as to when you can and when you cannot. All right, identify the properties of multiplication. So here's a video that you can use for quite a few of these sections from here on out. So this tells you a lot about how to use the calculator to solve a system of equations, say, and also just basic matrix operations. All right. So, and there's lots of different videos on YouTube that you can check out for yourself, but I just picked out that one because it contained a lot of information. I also created one for you. So if you go to this week's assignments, and that's what you have to click on to see what you need to do. So we're in week 2, and you're going to have a quiz you can see. All right, but before we get to that, let's look at the week's assignments. You are to go to section 1.3 of the Xi book and just do the participation activities. That's just a matter of reading along and clicking on the participation activities. I think you may have to answer a question or two, but you do it all right in the Xi book, and you don't have to copy anything or send me anything. Just read along and click on the participation activities and be involved, and I'll see that you've done so. Also the challenge activities. So do that in 1.3 and 1.4. And then on Thursday, I'm going to open up the quiz at 8 a.m. on Thursday. You'll have an hour and 45 minutes to take the quiz, and you can only take it at one time, meaning once you sit down for it, you are to go through it. Hour and 45 minutes, of course, is open book or any resources you need. And so I'll keep that open from Friday morning at 8 a.m. and I'm sorry, Thursday morning at 8 a.m. until Friday evening at 11 p.m. So it'll be open for 2 days, Thursday and Friday. Okay, Thursday 8 a.m. it'll open, and I'll close it at Friday at 11 p.m. So make sure that you make the time to go in and take the exam. And again, that's an hour and 45 minutes. All right, I think that's it for week 2. If you have any questions or if there are any issues, please email me. All right then.